Hi Yuki, konnichiwa, greetings to Japan from America. I told you that I was going to videotape me making this soup so it'll be easier to make it. Sometimes it's easier for me, like when I put something together, if I see the instructions or see the pictures, sometimes it's easier for me. So I figured that maybe if I would do it like this, it may be a little bit easier. You have a list of the ingredients I've already sent. First of all, I want to start thanking you and your mom and your family for really looking out for Chris. I really appreciate it. Sometimes it's hard being so many miles away, and even though he's an adult, it's just still good that somebody is there to look out for him on my behalf. And send your family my love. I can't wait to see you guys, hopefully really soon. And thank you for taking care of Chris, nursing him back to health. But I know he's kind of having a missing mommy time. So this chicken soup is usually what I make for him when he comes home, if he's not feeling well, or if he just needs to have a little touch of that something for his soul. So this is the chicken soup that I usually make. I started making it when he was about a teenager, going to his teenage years. He had a little bit of a colitis. He was drinking too much milk, if you know what I mean. And I found out that the products or in the chicken soup and things like that, it can help soothe your gastric tract. So what I would do is I would take boneless, skinless chicken breast, because if you take the chicken that has the skin on it and the fat or whatever, it's going to make it greasy. The last thing you need if you have an upset stomach is you need anything greasy. This actually helps. They had a big fluke going out this past school year, and hardly none of our kids got it. I made sure that I would come in and I made a pot of this soup every single week. Sometimes I substituted it with noodles, and then sometimes I substitute it with rice. Tonight we're going to substitute with rice because Samuel's going to have some. Usually when I make chicken and rice, I actually make chicken and rice for Samuel. So this is how it's going to start. Remember, I told you with the chicken, you need the chicken. So I went and got, you got chicken here. I'm a person, I've got to wash everything. I'm from old school, so we wash everything. So I'm going to wash this off right quick. You'll still hear me. I'm not having a videographer and all this other good stuff. It's just me. I'm washing the chicken. So now, this is what your chicken breasts look like. They're boneless, skinless chicken breasts. This is what they look like. So, and I've already washed them. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to use what is called a slow cooker, which is a crock pot. This is what we use in America. Sometimes what will happen is if you may go to work one day and you put the food on before you leave, it'll cook slow so it doesn't burn or anything like that. So it's a slow cooker. It cooks all the way through, and it avoids having a lot of microwave foods and things like that. You definitely don't want that. So what you're going to do is, in the meantime, you put the chicken inside of there. Then what I use is, tonight we're going to use, these are going to be some of the vegetables we're going to use. We're going to use green peppers, onions. I like to have the green onions because I like the kind of the taste, and fresh carrots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring my cutting board over to it. It's going to be easier soon to do this. It's going to take a little bit longer on the video because I'm going to be moving back and forth and talking, but this shouldn't take you any longer than maybe a good 10-15 minutes to prep, and you can actually make enough for maybe a day or so, because you can actually put it in a refrigerator. It's good to reheat. And the biggest thing you're going to find out is something that is inside of the chicken that when it's boiled, it releases an enzyme that helps soothe and calm you. Have you ever heard of chicken soup for the soul? That's kind of what it does. It's kind of like a soul food for you. So that's why I use it. There's a little bit of green peppers. You don't need a whole lot, but you need enough because this is what you're going to use to flavor. Too many artificial things, too much extra, like different seasonings and stuff, even though we're going to use them, can kind of mess with your stomach also. Everybody can't take a lot of different seasonings and extra peppers and all that other good stuff. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have something that will give a natural flavoring to it. And so I love to have fresh bell peppers and onions and carrots, because it'll give a natural good flavoring to it, and you don't need to have too many other different artificial flavorings. And sometimes you could get like fresh garlic or whatever. You have to watch it, because depending on, some people can't use some of it, so a little bit of flavoring is just what you need. So I'm almost finished cutting the vegetables, because we're only going to use a little bit for tonight. Then what we'll do is we'll wash them, because like I said, I wash everything. I'm not going to go through thorough washing tonight, like putting it in and washing it in, ooh, my eyes, washing it in all that other, like baking soda and stuff like that. So these are the vegetables already. You got the vegetables here. You got carrots, you got onions, you've got the green peppers, you got two different types of onions. So we're going to wash those. So now we got these washed. We're going to take these and put them in the crock pot right along with everything else. Then what I have a tendency to do, we're going to use some different types of flavor. Now, I use garlic powder. I do not use garlic salt. So what we want to do is take a little bit of the garlic salt. I would say a tablespoon of garlic salt, and because this is your first time making it, so you don't want to overdo it. And then what will happen when it's done, you can season the taste. So you got a tablespoon of garlic salt. You're gonna put that in there. Then I use sea salt. So we're gonna do a little bit I'd say maybe a half of tablespoon. You don't want to go too much salt, period, because you just really need it to taste. Then just a little, I would say you could be a little bit of a pinch of pepper. You don't want much, because you don't want it to be hot or spicy. But that's the last thing you need for somebody that may not be feeling well. And I use this at times just for some extra seasoning. And it's a chicken base. You may not have that at home, which is okay. Normally when Chris is not feeling well, I do not use the chicken base. I use this because I'm going to be eating it tonight, and it's for my taste. So I put that in there, and voila, I am finished prepping. The only thing we're going to do next is we're going to take and we're going to actually put water in it. So let me show you what it looks like without, this is, let's see if I can do it in here. This is what it looks like inside. I'm trying to work this phone, but that's what it looks like inside. And now we're going to take and put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4 cups of water. We're going to do that because I will be eating some of this tomorrow after church. So, or in the night, and what it can do, it'll be able to cook pretty much on low all night, and I'll be able to eat this myself. So what I decided to do is, in order to let you see how it's going to look, because you really want it for the broth, you can eat as much chicken as you want in it, but you really need the broth. That's the main thing we're doing, is getting that, because, oops, sorry. Of course, this is not normally what I do, but you want it for the broth, because what will happen is You can eat the chicken, you can eat the rice, you can eat all that other good stuff, but the broth is the thing, what is going to soothe your gastric tract. So I'm going to go over here because what I did is I prepared some in advance of how everything would look when it was all done. When everything was going to be done, you had a little bit more. You're going to, and then what you do is, this is what the soup is going to actually look like. I don't know how to work this phone to turn it around. And then what you can do is not to have too many starches, but you can actually put some crackers with it. And Yuki, you have the soup here. Let's see if I can get it on video there. I'm trying to, oh gosh. This is what the soup looks like. Look at there. It's really good. Got your crackers laid there. This is really good. Let me see. Oh, that's hitting right. Can't wait to see and hear about this soup. I know you're going to do an excellent job. Again, thank you. Tell your family I really appreciate them. I really appreciate you, and I cannot wait to hear the good news. Can't wait to talk to Chris. Talk to you later. Konnichiwa. Arigato. Arigato.